So I asked the other day on Instagram if any of you have thought of selling your knitting and crocheting patterns online, and the majority of you said yes. Now that everyone's kind of stuck at home and can't go to work, you may find yourself finally with the time and motivation to actually do it. So I wanted to share with you the 3 main platforms where you can get started today selling your knitting and crocheting patterns online with no upfront cost, and I want to break down all of the fees for each one of the platforms so you can be sure that you can do this risk-free without any surprise charges on your credit card, whether you sell anything or not. Those 3 sites are Etsy, Ravelry, and Lovecrafts. These are each awesome, easy-to-use sites where you can upload your knitting and crochet patterns as PDF files so that people can discover them, purchase, and download your patterns whenever they want. You'll get some kind of little storefront or profile where you can display all of your designs, and it's a quicker way to get eyes on your patterns faster than trying to build out your own website. That being said, each one comes with pros, cons, and of course, fees. Here's a little infographic I made that you can find on my blog, breaking down each of the fees as simply as I could put it. Selling anything online is really one of those easy to learn, difficult to master kind of things, and I don't want you to be intimidated by the fees. I mean, this is what Etsy's actual fee policy page looks like. So let's try to make this as bite-sized as possible. You can see from my little table that all 3 platforms have some kind of commission. For Etsy, it's 5% from the first sale, and Ravelry and Lovecrafts don't take commission until you make $30 in sales in 1 month's time, which should really encourage newbies to give it a try. Those commission percentages, as well as these payment processing fees, come off of the sale, so those fees are taken out of the sale price before you even receive the money. Additionally, down here you can see the commissions go away for Ravelry and Lovecrafts after you pull in big sales in a 1-month period. And I think it's fantastic that they did that. It shows they understand the value that really popular designers add to their site, and they want to encourage them to stick around, which I thought was really considerate for their readers and, just smart. Here I noted Etsy's notorious listing fee of 20 cents. And there's a clever way to get started on Etsy with no upfront cost, even with the listing fees. So let's first talk about Etsy and their fees. When you sign up to be a seller on Etsy, make sure to use a referral link from someone who's already selling on Etsy. You can ask a friend for theirs, and by signing up that way, you'll both get 40 listing fees paid for. That means you can list up to 40 patterns, and even if you don't sell a single one, you won't pay anything to Etsy. The key to making sure you can set it and forget it with no surprise charges is that when you make your listing, under renewal options, be sure to set it to manual. It's already set to automatic, so just make sure to set it to manual. That means if you list a pattern and it never sells, when it expires after 4 months, it won't automatically renew and charge you 20 cents if you don't want it to. Those are the 2 things you can do to make sure you can start on Etsy with no upfront cost. Use a friend's referral link to join, and set each listing's renewal option to manual. But I'm betting that you will make sales, and when that happens, Etsy will take 5%, 3%, 25 cents, and 20 cents, all off the top, meaning a $5 pattern will put $4.15 in your pocket. A big chunk to Etsy, but $4.15 more than you had before. And Etsy earns that commission by giving you a cute little storefront on their hugely popular and trusted site. But it's not a platform specifically designed for knitters and crocheters, so you will have to do some keyword research and SEO to get found in search. That whole topic definitely deserves its own video. But just know that even with Etsy's keyword game, you're still likely to get the most traffic on Etsy simply because the site is just such a huge, bustling marketplace already. Now let's talk about Ravelry and Lovecrafts together a bit because they have a lot of the same pluses. They're both free to post patterns. They both don't take any commission until you make a significant amount in sales. They're both specifically catered to knitters and crocheters, so they have ways built into the site to categorize your patterns, making them more easily discoverable, and you don't have to play the silly keyword game. You can even post free patterns, which is a great tool to promote yourself as a new designer because free patterns usually get a lot more attention than paid ones, and I like to have a healthy mix of both. That being said, I think Lovecrafts is the most user-friendly of the 3. The backend you see as a designer makes it so easy to manage your patterns and to post new ones. Ravelry has a kind of old internet forum-style interface that I personally have not found easy to navigate. I always post my patterns on Ravelry, but I link out to other platforms. So even I'm still learning how to use my Ravelry Pro account, and I would love to do a more in-depth video about adding patterns directly to Ravelry in the future. And I encourage you to add any patterns you create to all 3 platforms. More is more in terms of selling online, and all three of these sites make it easy, cheap, and pretty darn fun to start your yarn-trepreneur journey. So there you have it. Those are the 3 platforms where you can get started selling knitting and crocheting patterns today. And now, if you want to know exactly how to make the actual pattern, the file, that people will be downloading, I'll go all into that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck.